Welcome to ALSi by iSimulate. Today we're going to take a moment and go through our welcome scenario, which is a custom scenario we've put together to showcase some of the features of ALSi. So we're going to turn the power button on here within our monitor. And on our instructor iPad, which is this one here, you can see the screen is broken into two sections. On this side we have the custom scenario that we've built, where we're going to make changes by advancing through the boxes, and on this side we have our manual changes that we can make by utilizing the slider bars or grabbing some different rhythms. So if we come back on this side, these gray boxes are where you as the instructor can deliver your teaching points, so we can build them in. As you tap the boxes, they turn from gray to green. We can tap and hold on these boxes, and it's going to bring up a screen where you could either grab some text that you've already programmed, like an incorrect dose of medication was given, or if you want to make a more detailed note, you can hit add text. It'll bring up the keyboard, you could log your note, and it will save that in the log that's running in the background. As students come in and start to hook up some of the leads, with the touch of a button we could activate the different rhythms. So we can hook up a SATS probe and get a readout there as well. We can build trends over time. So here, if we want to increase the heart rate and we want to drop the SATS and we want that to happen over 10 seconds, we've programmed that in here. So we can see that slow deterioration take place over the course of those 10 seconds. If we wanted to dial it up a little bit and mimic giving medication, we can put the patient into ATAC, and perhaps the course of action is to give adenosine. So we get that 3-second period of asystole before it jumps back into its normal sinus rhythm. As we continue to build on the case, we can bring in our art line and our Untitled CO2. At any time, the instructor can bring in one of almost 70 different heart rhythms on the fly by grabbing it and pressing go. We've also pre-programmed some slight changes here in the next box. And now if we wanted to shock a patient, we can change into defibrillator mode with the push of a couple buttons, and now we're in defib mode. The student can set the energy level from here. They could charge up the defibrillator, and once we get the clear to go, we're going to deliver a simulated shock. So we've delivered the charge. The instructor can hit CPR and hide the other values, so the student's focusing on CPR. When CPR is done, we can simply push the button and the patient comes back, and we can check to see how he's doing. So from here we can go from a pre-hospital to more of a hospital setting perhaps, and we can build in some lab work. So we can load up some lab values. We can do that either on the fly, or we can pre-program it and push it onto the student's monitor for evaluation. We could also bring in images. So any image that you have in your camera roll, we can bring into the scenario. So perhaps a chest x-ray that we can push onto the student's monitor. Or we'll do another one here, for example. We have a 12 lead that the student can evaluate and comment on as well. Once the student has called for the images once and they've been sent, they could recall them at any point by pushing on the monitor here and grabbing that image back if they'd like to take another look. And then at the end, the instructor has a nice debrief tool in the event log where it's kept track of everything that's happened during the scenario, including the teaching points that we've touched on. You can see here they've turned green. We have our custom notes that we put in here under the orange section, and then the time-stamped account of everything else that happened during the scenario, which can be PDF'd at the end and kept on file for record-keeping purposes. So that was kind of a brief walkthrough of the scenario. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thanks.